Build live stream. I'm Corey Dunn. I'm joined here by Patrick Bach from DICE. It's been great having the chance to sit there and see all of the different things throughout the event. I know that I asked you the question of how's the event been for you. You've been busy.
Yes.
You've been very busy.
Yeah, I've been in interviews all day. Everyone wants to talk about the game. So I haven't really been around on the show floor yet. I try to, when I have time over, I go to this booth, to see all the fans playing Battlefield. So it's quite impressive.
One of the things that I think is really, really cool, too, is that not only are the players just trying to hop into the game, but they're also trying to educate themselves right out of the bat, trying to get that early start on others. And also those that are kind of pulling different, they're taking screenshots, they're taking information, and they're sending it out and saying, hey, check this out, this is great, these are the new additions. Some of those new additions that I think is great, of course, Levolution, that being implemented is not just a kind of an environment change, it also changes the metagame, the dynamic of the game, and I think those are huge pluses. What are some of those, for those that are just tuning in for the first time here in day 2, I didn't have the chance to watch day 1, what are some of those different things that we can see there with dealing with Levolution? I think,
Levolution is a concept that encompasses everything about the how the map plays out. We want to create an environment that is extremely dynamic, both when it comes to the second action of the players, where you can shoot fire extinguishers to hide in the smoke screen. You have like alarms going off when you jump onto a car, for instance. You can hear where the enemy are in the environment. We have bigger things like the classic destruction of walls and smaller structures, and then of course have the big skyscraper on this map that you can actually take down, and then after that has happened, after that event, you actually create a big dust cloud that covers the entire map, that creates a new environment for all the players on the map, especially for people like helicopter pilots that have a very short view distance, and snipers that, all of a sudden it's not as effective.
That's one of the things that we've been seeing all throughout day 1 was whenever that skyscraper would fall, the debris coming out there. I mean, it makes it difficult for even some of the recon classes that are trying to make some shots. So let's go ahead and go down that route as well. Talking about the different types of attachments for some of these primary weapons, having the ability to have an optical, but also a secondary portion of that, a second attachment with some for which would be like a canted,
canted
iron
sights,
sight as well.
Yeah, so we've done a lot of stuff to enhance the core shooting experience. Where guns now have even more accessories, also deeper customization. So you can even customize your handgun now, which is very, very cool. Canted sights, you have alternate optics on your guns. You can flick over and get X12 on your gun. So there's a lot of big and small things that both for the hardcore Battlefield fans, but also for the newcomer, that is quite exciting.
Something that I also noticed, so I remember that you're able to, in previous versions, you'd have the ability to change from a burst fire to an automatic to even a single shot, and that's still here involved in this game. And one of the things that I also saw as well in the recon with the sniper class, or having the ability to actually change your focal zoom, having seeing your rangefinder.
Yeah, there's a rangefinder for the recon class, and also you can also have multiple zoom levels, which is very, very cool. So you can actually go from a 4x zoom to a 12x zoom in real time, so to speak.
It's great. So for those of you that are at home that are questioning if you have to pull your gun away, move the attachment up, it's all synonymous. It's just sit there and you have one attachment and it just clicks back up there. It's very quickly. You don't have to break from being iron sighted. So I think that's a great addition to it as well. So one of the questions that we've seen numerous times over and over again was the difference between your small medic pack and your medium size. Same exact thing for your ammo as well.
Yeah, so the idea is we want to create a more mobile experience where you actually, when you run around and you don't have time to go up to your squad mate and stop them and drop a med pack, you can actually throw med packs at them more or less to give a small but very effective boost for their health. So it's a very mobile way of seeing med packs and ammo packs.
It's like basically sitting there for anybody who's a parent out there saying, here's your lunch, have fun, be good. All right, go on your way.
Yeah.
So I mean, the same thing with having a good time there with your health or ammo. So that's what you're seeing out there. So and for those that are questioning as well, if that this small ammo packer ends up on the ground, you can still get healed or get resupplied as well. So it's not as if I throw it and I miss you with it. It's still effective at that point as well. So. There's some other questions that are out there. I've seen some images that show vehicles that have been kind of on one side, and it was made the assumption that you had the ability to shoot out tires. I've already been told, but can you dive into that for me?
We don't have shooting tires in the game. No, we talked about that quite a lot. We have the ability to demobilize vehicles that we introduced in BF4, which we're still tweaking and tuning because we think it's a great addition to the game. So that's kind of partially what you're doing if you take out the tires. But this is more of a systematic way of doing it. So you can do it for all vehicles, even treaded vehicles. So you can't take out individual tires.
So there you go. So that I just wanted to have some clarity out there for those. I mean, the community does a great job of trying to speculate every single aspect of the game. I was even looking at some of the things that are out there saying at 1.05.2, this is what I saw on the bottom right-hand side that stated this. But in all reality, they just do a great job of trying to assume everything that they can.
I think that's great. That's exactly what we were hoping for, because we can only go out with so much information in an interview or in the live environment on the EA press conference, for instance. You can only show so much. So we wanted people to be able to dissect the game during this live stream.
Doing a great job of it.
Because there's so many things in the game that we have changed that we can't really list and talk about in a fast way. So having this live stream is a great way for us and for our fans to actually look deeper into all the detailed improvements and additions to the game. So I think I'm very, very happy about this.
Let's go ahead, and here in just a moment we're going to give you some more gameplays. You probably noticed behind us that they've already started to filter in here. And so as we go ahead and hop into the game here. So one of the things too, I mean, you're right. The idea behind having just one person try to answer all the different types of questions, even for Alex Mendez and myself, while we're watching these games happen, I mean, I'm trying to digest every single bit of information that's on the screen. I'm trying to even speculate as much as possible, but the many is better than the few in this type of scenario where you have millions of people watching. We've seen the viewer counts that are out there too. So
no, I think it's the Battlefield has always been a game with great depth, so it's really hard for people to grasp it in the first couple of minutes. You can see the core, you understand the world, you understand what it's supposed to do, and then you can explore that world and find depth in almost every area of the game. If you're a pilot, you can find depth. If you like to play as a recon, there's infinite depth. There's so many things to do for each and individual class and individual focus area for the players. And I think that's one of the biggest strengths with Battlefield, that you can actually honestly use your personality to conquer the battlefield. And I think that's amazing.
I think one of the other beautiful aspects is the squad side of things too. Whenever you sit there, I've watched numerous types of games. I've been at the casual level, at a very high competitive level, watching a bunch of different games. And the communication, both casual and competitive, are above and beyond any other games that I've watched. I mean, the fact that it's so educated and saying exactly where they're watching, what they're doing, how much ammo they have, the support behind each other is just great. The fact that you'll see variations in classes, you'll see a recon support, even have an engineer and assault all coming together and working together to get one type of goal. And that's just one of the beautiful things. Right here you can see some pop shots downrange here by Alpha 5.
Yeah, I think the cool thing is that people want to work together. They see the benefit of working together. They get a lot of what happened?
I think he finally killed him off there as he came in.
So people find it very natural to work together, and you can see that actually deepens the game for everyone on the map. It's not only a game about you, it's a game about you and your team winning together. And that creates a very, very holistic feeling where you want your team to win rather than you want to just shoot people personally.
Right. And so some of the other aspects that we've seen, of course, before we just like in Battlefield 3, you had the ability to set down a motion sensor, and in your recon class. But also, I've noticed that you have some motion balls that you can actually throw your motion sensor out there as well.
So that's part of the mobility focus that we've had. I think they've done a great job with all of those features where you feel more mobile. You can throw things like med packs, motion sensors, etc. Which empowers the players to get more intel about the enemies and the surrounding world. But also then having the ability for the commander to scan the whole area for a certain amount of time gives the whole team a benefit of this. And I think the cool thing here is that it works on a small and a big scale together. So it's not different games; it's actually the same game, and everyone is playing together.
I think it's one of the great things too is that we're talking about multi-tier levels. I'm on the base tier, so for instance, here on Siege of Shanghai, I may be in the residential area, but I can toss up a small medic pack up to the second floor to my teammates when they need it most. They may be under gunfire from 2 different individuals. While I'm having to rush or back around to be able to get on the flank, I can at least give them some type of small med pack to be able to help them out through that process.
And I think it's interesting to see when you give people the ability to help each other, they will actually start doing that. And I think that's a very, very powerful theme where people actually want to help. That's not something you see in every shooter today.
Is there any other last little things that you want to kind of note that we really haven't dived down deep into?
I think we've touched upon some really, really cool things. That's a nice shot. No, but it's interesting to see that the game at its core works really well, and I'm loving the fact that people, when they watch the live stream, that they pick up on all the nuances that we changed with the game. Things that you might not be able to sell the first time you see the game, but when you see it running live like this, you actually see all the small things that we change as well. So you get the full range of improvements for Battlefield 4 compared to Battlefield 3, for instance. Because to us that's very important, that you don't only have these big things that you could argue is like, oh, I don't care about those things, the hundreds of hours that I'm spending in the game. So you want depth in all of the different small areas.
Yeah, so it's been good. I mean, so what we've seen throughout. I mean, you're exactly right on the fact that when we listen, have the chance to actually listen to the community and get their input of what they see. It's just been great. I mean, also along the same time, whenever you have some type of speculation out there, then it allows more of maybe that might be a good feature to add into the game. Maybe we might. I definitely know that DICE listens to every aspect, and I appreciate you hopping on here with me. We'll allow you to kind of relax for a moment in between all of your interviews that you've had so far. A pleasure having you on here, Patrick.
Thank you very much.
We'll get Alex back on here in just a moment. Again, we'll just continue to watch more gameplay. So stick around here watching the Battlefield 4 live stream.